There are moments in Parliament that cut through the noise of partisan warfare and remind everyone in that chamber why public service is supposed to matter in the first place. This was one of them. Robert Jenrick, the Shadow Justice Secretary, stood up at the dispatch box not to score political points, not to embarrass the government, but to fight for a family that never even asked to be fought for. Lenny Scott was a prison officer who did something most people never have the courage to do. He saw corruption, he exposed it, he paid for that courage with his career and ultimately with his life. Hunted down and murdered years after leaving the service, and because of a technicality in how the system is structured, his children received nothing, no compensation, no acknowledgement, nothing. Jenrick raised this privately first, no press releases, no grandstanding, and when he brought it to the floor of the Commons, he did so with a weight and sincerity that you rarely see in modern politics. Watch this clip, because what you're about to see is a rare thing in Westminster.
Robert Jenrick.
Mr. Speaker, one of the last meetings that I took as Shadow Justice Secretary was with the parents of Lenny Scott. Lenny Scott was an exceptionally brave prison officer. He uncovered corruption in his prison. He left the service, and years later he was hunted down and brutally murdered. Because he died after leaving active service, there was never any compensation paid to the children that he left behind. I know the Prime Minister would want to right this wrong. I wrote to the Justice Secretary privately after I discovered this, and I should say his parents never asked for any support. Would the Prime Minister correct this, ensure that this brave man's children have the support that they need as they grow up without the father that they deserved, and join me in thanking all the brave men and women who serve us in our prison service?
Prime Minister.
Well, I thank him for raising this, and I will make sure that it is looked into as a matter of urgency, given the circumstances he's set out.
Now, Keir Starmer's response was brief, but it was the right response. He committed to having it looked into as a matter of urgency. That matters. No deflection, no political spin, no attempt to turn this into a Labour versus Tory moment, just a straightforward acknowledgement that something went wrong and it needs to be fixed. But here's what this moment actually reveals. Jenrick has spent much of his political career being associated with hardline immigration rhetoric and leadership ambition. Whatever you think of his politics, this intervention showed a different side. A politician who quietly met with a grieving family, wrote a private letter to the Justice Secretary, and only then brought it to Parliament when he felt the system hadn't moved. That's how political capital should be spent. And it's a reminder that the prison service, one of the most overlooked and underfunded parts of our public sector, deserves far more recognition than it ever receives. The officers who walk into those buildings every single day, managing some of the most dangerous individuals in the country, do so with very little glory and very little protection when things go wrong. Lenny Scott's children are growing up without their father because he chose to do the right thing. The very least this country owes them is to make sure the system that failed him doesn't fail them too. If you found this insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment from UK Focus Point.